Well, I've worked in what we call the built environment since the late 1980s. And so he was already a preeminent architect then, but I can't say honestly that I knew his work particularly until it came time for me to take over this project of 30 St. Mary Axe. At the time that we were working on 30 St. Mary Axe, he had 600 active projects across the practice worldwide. He had an uncanny ability of walking along a wall of drawings that had been put up, and he would walk up to one of them and he would say, I don't think I really like that detail. Have you considered doing it another way? And everybody would go, how did he even notice that? So that was pretty impressive. And I have to say, we were exceedingly lucky because we had what I consider the A team. We had extremely talented architects and technicians and designers who worked on the building and who were extremely responsive to client requirements, which I have to say is not always the case when working with architects. Well, to tell you the truth, the controversy started during the design process. And it was, in a sense, it was more pronounced when the building hadn't been built because people couldn't really see. They didn't understand how tall it was going to be. They didn't understand how it sat on the site and how much space it had around it on the plaza and how it stood in the skyline. Because it doesn't matter how many computer-generated images you produce. People can't really understand two-dimensional images. They need to see the real thing. I did get a lot of negative feedback while it was under construction because all you could see was this giant steel skeleton coming up, and you had no sense of how graceful and beautiful it was going to be once it had the cladding on it. The most fun was, I am a complete construction junkie, so going on site and seeing the progress, seeing the steel going up, seeing the cladding going on, seeing the building get closer and closer to completion. You just get such a buzz. And also seeing all the people on site who are all working to make it happen. At any one point, you could have as many as 500 people in the building trying to get it up there and get it done. And so that's exciting. That was great. I honestly think the building was before its time. And I don't think sustainability was as big an agenda item as it is today. And we were definitely ahead of our time. And today, it's the watchword, isn't it, for buildings. In fact, that's why the regeneration of old buildings has become so much more popular. It used to be you would just knock them down and start again, but it's the ultimate sustainability, isn't it, when you reuse an existing building? And being clever about that is a big challenge for architects, and some of them are embracing it. Well, there's no question that the environment in which we live, and more importantly, in some ways, work, because we spend more of our waking hours in a working environment than we do in a home environment. I mean, those of us who work professionally. And I think it's absolutely essential. I think you ignore the quality of an environment at the peril of your employees' productivity, their happiness, their morale, your staff turnover. I mean, you name it. It is such a significant contributor to the quality of work life and in the case of residential projects and the quality of home life, that you'd be mad to ignore it. Completely mad. There are a lot of careers that are male-dominated. Construction is just one of them. Engineers, that's another. My entire career has been working in male-dominated industries. The short answer is, I believe, as a woman in any of these male-dominated industries, and construction is no exception, you have to be as good as or better than a man doing the same job. You also have to be prepared for the inevitable misogyny which you will encounter. You have to have a tough exterior. It doesn't mean that you won't be offended at times and you won't be hurt. So, and all of those kinds of things come up when you are working in construction as a woman. But if you love what you do, then you just deal with it.